Town, listen up. You are now listening to the best sports talk show in the Windy City. Combs and Fitz. Windy City Sports Talk. From the burst of the lake, there ain't no mistake. The Combs and Fitz gonna have the greatest of the hot takes.
Okay.
So hop on the board and join the bandwagon. Ooh. They gonna keep your feet moving and sometimes how you laughing.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Come on through with the sports talk is what you wish. The West know what's up and don't miss. Fitz gibberish.
I can't do
It
that.
don't matter what team you playing, but what's gonna burn that flame. So put your team on the map. Guess what? We gonna do the same. From Comiskey to Wrigley,
What?
from Soldier to UC.
Okay.
Windy City Sports is where you need to be. But there is no furthermore. You get the jits. So let's get the rest for Combs and Fitz.
And Windy City Sports Talk is live. Brandon Combs, along with my guy Ryan Fitzgibbons. Fitzy, where the hell you at?
We are live from our hotel and casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes! I probably got a few dead bodies around here, but how are you doing, Combs?
Here's my question. Sick invite, bro.
What?
Sick invite. You're in Vegas. I'm over here in Chicago.
Like you wouldn't even come. You got like 10 different shows to do. You cheap bastard.
It's true. It's true. But listen, hey, you're in Vegas, but right now Chicago feels like Vegas because it's 105 degrees with humidity.
Yeah, it's like 93 here without humidity.
Yeah.
It's
So
actually nicer here.
Yeah, it's actually nicer there. Tomorrow's supposed to be even hotter here than it was today. So that's fantastic. I can't wait to feel that heat. So that's awesome. I got to work the Dogs game tomorrow in it, so that'll be great. So I hope you enjoy your trip, you son of a bitch.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, I do have to work here too, so there's that.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
But you know, hopefully I don't gamble too much, and
You better not gamble too much.
Gamble away Aiden's trust fund or anything like that. But
oh god, I think you got it covered. I just heard you strike $1 million deal while we were waiting to go on live. You'll be all right.
You got to network while you're out here, man. You got to network while you're out here.
I was listening. I was like, oh wow, this guy's gonna get $1 million deal done while we're.
It was a guy though. It wasn't a woman. So
okay,
Nicole, everything's okay.
Yeah, the woman was before the guy.
Oh, here we go.
It was before the guy, Nicole.
Come on. And I wish I could show the pool area, but there's a lot of like half naked people and that I work with. Well, no one wears clothes around
the people you
anymore.
work with are half naked? Where do you work?
Aiden's watching. He says, don't spend his money gambling. I'm at the pool. I'm in a cabana. I'm at the pool.
What's going on, Aiden?
Hey, Aiden, I love you, bud.
There you go. There's a shout out. Hey, guys, we got a great show lined up for you guys. I know Fitz is over there in Vegas. He's having the time of his life right now at work. But the rest of us are living our lives. We're here back home in Chicago. We're going to talk White Sox, first team to lose 100 games before September since 1916. And talk about the Cubs. They got no shot at the playoffs. I know they're 5 games out. There's no shot at the playoffs. I'll put that in perspective for you. We're going to talk about the Chicago Bears. We'll get to some Fitz gibberish. We'll get to all that stuff. But first, got a little bit of an announcement.
Yeah.
We will not be doing the show on Mondays anymore. We will continue to do the shows. We're going to be doing the Bears pregame show. Might even be able to hop on for a Bears postgame show, all of that stuff. But there's just a lot of things moving. I got a promotion over at the radio station to do the nightly show. So I'm gonna be doing the nightly show there Monday through Friday, called BetMGM tonight. So if you guys want to check it out. I will be live there, producing, board opping, and apparently maybe even some on-air talent type stuff. So very exciting stuff going on in the radio world. But it is going to take me away on Mondays through Fridays. So we're gonna figure something out, whether it's a Sunday show after football. We'll continue to do the Bears pre-games on Sundays, maybe some post games, and we'll figure out what day Combs and Fitz will continue. But this show is going to go on. We're not going to leave you guys high and dry. We know you guys love this stuff.
No way.
So Mike Mudge says Fitz is loving life.
You're damn right, Mike. Come see me at the Aria. It's not far.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would love to, look, it's one of those things, man. It happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. 60 days of being, not even 60 days, less than 60 days of being there, and to get this opportunity presented to me. It was funny because I thanked my boss for giving me the opportunity. And when I thanked him, he said, "Don't thank me." He's like, "You did all the damn work." And that was the first time that it hit me. I was like, okay. All right, I appreciate that. Like it's starting to pay off. It's been a long time coming, but I'm excited for the future for sure.
Yeah, it's great, man. It shows hard work pays off sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
maybe at some point they'll give me a show of my own and allow me to bring on a co-host, and then maybe me and Buck can bring you on as like a producer or something.
Oh my God. How dare you?
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
That's what you get for not taking me to Vegas.
Wow.
That is what you get, sir.
Where was I going to put you?
I mean,
you could have stayed in this cabana the whole time.
Well played, you son of a bitch.
I would have stayed in that cabana the whole time. Wouldn't have bothered me a bit. I'm sitting behind my bar at home drinking right now. But anyway, look, White Sox, I know you were traveling. Did you see the game last night?
I tried not to. I saw a little bit of it. Isabel.
Thank you, Isabel.
Today, but it's always sunny in Doucheville.
See, it is always sunny in Doucheville. Yep.
That's terrible.
You don't even take your co-host, your friend. You don't take me with you to Vegas. I tell you all the time that it's my dream vacation. I would love to go just once, play some poker. I would have stayed out of your hair. They wouldn't even known I was with you for work.
Yeah,
I would have just played poker and hung out. I mean, you would have had to lend me the money to play poker, but still, Aiden's got plenty of money in that trust fund you were talking about.
And this is what happens to the bank account. I don't know if I trust you to gamble.
Or I win, and then
we
stay in Vegas.
Now you sound like a gambling addict.
I am not a gambling addict, sir. I only had $20 on McNeese State versus Tarleton this weekend.
Unbelievable.
Anyway,
that's worse than that WNBA.
The White Sox there's no end in sight for this, right? 100 games, losing 100 games before even September.
There isn't, and then all of a sudden there's this new rule. If you're in a certain spot, you lose a certain amount of games. I forget what it is. I think it's top 5 most losses 2 years in a row. You can't get the top pick the next year. So they can only get a top 10 pick. That's the best they can do, is get a top 10 pick, which is unbelievable that this rule happens now. The first time they really bottom out. I know they were bad last year, but they weren't bottom out bad. And even the trades didn't look good. I know Jeremiah has said it a few times on the show. We didn't really get to the trades that much. You don't get what you got 5-10 years ago for trades in baseball anymore. You don't get the team's top prospect anymore. Teams just don't want to trade that anymore. But that Eric Fenny trade, I think, is going to hurt because I think you could have got more for him. And I think you should have traded Crochet. I mean, it might not be that bad if he finishes out the year. You know, maybe you get more suitors in the offseason, but you still got him for 2 years. But I think both those things hurt. And yeah, there's no end in sight until Jerry sells the team. It's just.
Yeah, right now I don't think that any real trade really hurts the White Sox, right? Because over the next 5, maybe even 10 years, depending on what Jerry's plan is with this team, when are they going to be go? I mean, you look at me like that, like I'm just talking crap. I'm not talking crap about the White Sox. I just don't believe in this front office. I don't believe in the owner in his ability to hire a GM that can create a winning environment around this organization. And this organization doesn't have a winning culture to it already. So if you can't do that stuff, there's not an end in sight right now. And there won't be an end in sight until Jerry is no longer a part of the equation.
I mean, how much longer could he possibly live? He smokes cigars. I mean, I'm sure he drinks now and then.
I mean, you got to find out where he drinks and then maybe sit next to him.
Yeah. Slip him a Mickey like they used to do in the movies. But I mean, I just don't know what else there is to do at this point.
Yeah.
As a fan, it's kind of like I was talking to Charlie last week. Like, it's very hard to even yell about it anymore. It's ridiculous. He could have done something better for that neighborhood. I mean, look at how much the value of that team has risen. I mean, it's like a top 12, top 13 team when it comes to evaluation. For the amount of money that it would cost to buy them. And it's just because it's in Chicago. And he's done nothing for the area really at all. I know he's trying to do something for the area by the United Center, but he's done nothing here on the south side. Nothing like the Ricketts. And you could say what you want about the Ricketts. I've obviously had a lot to say about the Ricketts, but they have done a lot for that neighborhood. There's a lot going on there. I mean, they turned it into the Fenway West. If you've ever been to Fenway, it's a lot like Fenway. There's a parade going on around the park every time.
Yeah, absolutely. That guy's got a sweet hat on behind you.
Yeah, that's my solutions engineer.
Ask him if I can have one of those hats. Where he got it from?
Combs, get one of your hats. Combs, get your hat.
He's got to come to Vegas.
You got to come to Vegas, he said.
You son of a bitch.
It's
all your fault that I'm not in Vegas, and now you're going to tell me I have to go to Vegas. You're in Vegas. Why can't you bring me back a hat?
You would not fit in my carry-on bag. Jesus, you would not fit in a bag I checked.
Wow. First you don't bring me to Vegas, and now your body's shaming me. Wow.
Junior says House Vegas. Junior says House Vegas.
No, there's no.
It's free.
No.
No, I want
no.
Come on. It's kind of not. I'm free booze, free Casamigos, Junior.
Oh God.
Fenway is awesome. I mean, I wish I had more to say about the White Sox. I really thought they were going to get more out of their trades. I really did. And you don't know, maybe they got a superstar or two out of the trade and it doesn't matter. You don't know that thing. Those things don't shake out for about 2 or 3 years, but you're right. I mean, it's years ahead. You're not getting the top baseball minds here other than maybe Josh Barfield, but I wouldn't put him as a top baseball mind.
Right.
You did help develop a Diamondbacks team that is pretty damn good again this year, but there's just not a lot until he sells the team. There's not going to be a lot of innovation there. It's like a death rattle. Like there is a such thing as a death rattle when someone's like lungs fill with fluid right before they die. That is the sound. And that's also the sound you probably hear in the Sox game right now is a death rattle because this organization is slowly dying.
Oh, no.
Yes.
So if you want to hear a death rattle, this is what it sounds like, guys.
Southside, stand up.
Sit down.
Just so you future reference. Speaking of which, you said that was your software engineer that was sent behind you?
Yeah, see what my solutions engineer. Yeah.
Do you think he could give you a solution for your internet?
He probably can. He'd probably kick my ass if he knew about this, but I'm not going to tell him.
Because
And he can't hear you right now.
the free internet at the hotel seems to be a lot better in the cabana
Yeah, it's going pretty
than the
smooth.
stuff that you have at home.
You froze a couple times, I think, but I'm pretty smooth here.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
All
take
right.
up a residency here. Maybe they'll give us a residency here.
Me. Anyway, look, I don't know what to say. There's really nothing to say about the White Sox anymore until they just let go of what is Jerry Reinsdorf doing. There's nothing for them to do. I mean, he's got to relinquish hold of the team. And Wayne G, I did. Wayne G says, as Chicago died, do you feel bitter Jordan chose to play for the White Sox over the Cubs? No. I mean, because he never even played in the majors. I mean, he came up to play in that series against the Cubs in the majors. But I remember I was at that damn game. But anyway, I'm not bitter that he chose to play for the White Sox over the Cubs. Though I think the White Sox were the ones that Jerry Reinsdorf owned the Bulls. It made the most sense. You know what I mean? Jerry Reinsdorf owns the Bulls and he owns the White Sox. Just made a ton of sense for Jerry Reinsdorf.
And he went straight to Double A.
Yeah.
People don't understand that he went straight to Double A, and he actually played okay. He was batting like 220 in Double A for a guy to go and do that. Pretty amazing. Dad barely fits in his truck.
See, and shit like this is why this kid didn't make the college football playoff in our dynasty league. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so Cubs as well. Look, the Cubs, it's going to be a short conversation. They're 5 out. A lot of people think that they have hope. They could get back in this thing. You got to put it in perspective, guys, and be realistic with yourselves. They are 5 games behind, or 5.5 games, whatever it is. It might even be 6 now, behind the Atlanta Braves. With 33 games left, that would mean the Braves would have to go 16-13, while the Cubs went something like 22-10. Or I'm sorry, 16-17, while the Cubs went 22-10. That's the only way you're going to catch up, and that's just not happening. The Cubs are not making the playoffs. They're not going to the playoffs. They're not catching the Braves. The Braves are too good of an organization. They're not even going to be able to. I don't even think they'll be able to leapfrog the other team that's over, the Mets. I don't think that they're going to be able to do that. So
I think they're better than the
water.
Yeah, I think they're better than the Mets, but I don't think they're better than the Braves. At least not right now. I had the Braves doing better. The Braves do have some injuries.
Yeah,
but I don't. You're right. With that organization, I don't see a collapse happening. I mean, that's an organization that's well knit together over the last 30, 40 years. They don't allow stuff like that to happen. They bring in the right guys. They have a lot of talent. They have a great farm system, and they have guys right now that are playing well. What the Cubs don't have is a superstar right now, and it's pretty obvious. If they had a guy hitting 40 home runs or even 35 in the middle of their lineup, they're probably in the playoffs. If they had a damn good closer, and you could say what you want about the White Sox, but when the White Sox were done with their rebuild, they went on out and got Liam Hendricks, and Liam Hendricks played damn well for him until you gave him cancer. Yeah. Thanks, Julianne. How you doing?
I think she's messing with you. I think she's being facetious.
These are some of the only shades that fit my nose.
You look ridiculous. You look like you're gonna go play beach volleyball after, and then go ride a motorcycle and try to chase down some girl in a Corvette.
Do I look like Don Johnson? Is that what you're saying? For Miami Vice?
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about Top Gun, actually. Jules says big word, Brandon. It was a big word. I can use big words.
Wow. Daddy used big words.
I can do lots of things big.
And you're not wearing a Cubs hat.
No, I'm wearing Notre Dame. Wow, how much have you had to drink that we are 19 minutes into the show, and we were on there for 20 minutes before the show, and you didn't even notice that I was wearing a Notre Dame hat. People are gonna think we hate each other in Vegas.
Pour one up. You're just jealous.
I am I'm very jealous that you're in Vegas and I'm here. Very much so. You are right. Are you ready? Is it time?
Is it time?
It's time.
It's time for Fitz Gibberish. It's a diatribe. It's a conspiracy theory.
Oh God. That's the Casamigos.
And it's an island. I feel like I'm on an island in the middle of unapologetic and sometimes inaccurate sports talk. Fitz don't even know where he is. Shut up, Junior. Fitz at the Aria. Oh my God.
Doubting Thomas, join the fantasy league already, damn it.
Yeah, what the hell? He's just afraid he's gonna lose.
We're one team away from filling it.
Yeah. What the hell? When you are in Vegas, you can smell the scent of broken dreams, Combs. The sweat from a man who just drained his family's life savings, including little Jimmy's college trust fund, leaves an odor that lingers in the air. No amount of perfume or oxygen that the casinos pump into the air can cover the scent, and it loiters like a guy selling skunky Coors Light on the strip. One such game that is a little more benign than double downing on 11, losing, and ending up turning tricks on Fremont Street for airfare home is fantasy football. We just mentioned it. Ah, yes. When I hear a man scream in the middle of a bar, yes, he's in my fantasy. I swear I do not detect a single whiff of latent homosexuality. No. Not one whiff.
Oh
Anyway.
my God.
Anyway, modern fantasy football can be traced back to Wilfred Bill Wickenbach, an Oakland, California businessman and limited partner in the Oakland Raiders. In a New York City hotel room during a 1972 Raiders cross-country trip, Wickenbach, along with Raiders, and this could all be made up because it's not from Wikipedia, along with Raiders public relations employee Bill Tunnell and Oakland Tribune reporter Scotty Sterling, developed the rules that would eventually be the basis of modern fantasy football. The first league was called the Greater Oakland Professional Pigskin Prognosticators League, GOPPPL, which doesn't at all sound like a badly formed communist club in Portland, Oregon. But since then, fantasy football has taken the country by storm. In 2019 alone, 45 million American adults participated, and not one of them was Doubting Thomas. It is now a $7 billion a year industry. If we put that kind of money into cold fusion, we might have clean energy for all. But when you got Tyreek Hill popping off more TDs than paternity tests, you got to be in fantasy football. But I digress, because this reminds me of a theme that we have talked about before with the ghosts of Gibberish's past. Instead of a family crowding around a 24-inch tube screen with crystal clear 360 pixel definition, most family members have their own screens now where they can consume a sport any way they like, thereby being a fan of any team or player they like. If you squint, it's not hard to see a future where each family member is a fan of a separate team. Yes, if I close my eyes, Combs, I see a hellscape where in 5-year time, the Bears are in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They have the ball at the Chiefs' 18-yard line with less than a minute to go. Williams throws the ball to Adunze in the corner of the end zone, and it just misses his outstretched hands. I'm completely dejected. Some might even say enraged. While my boy Aiden jumps and screams with ecstasy as he repositions his Patrick Mahomes jersey. The horror. The horror. I see that turning a man psychotic. That's not a long turn for me, Combs, as you know. Combs, I have a hypothetical question for you if you're still listening.
I'm trying.
It's week 17 of this year, Bears versus Seahawks, and you're desperately trying to hold on to going to your fantasy league's championship game. There is a big payday in it for it. You have Kenneth Walker III as your running back, and the Seahawks are going down for the game-winning drive. A running touchdown pretty much clinches your victory, but may kick the Bears out of the playoffs. Who, my friend, are you rooting for? And that is Fitz gibberish, people. Thanks for listening.
Atta boy. You know,
who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for. You know who I'm rooting for? I'm rooting for death. You know why? Because next week on Sunday is a return that you've been not waiting for.
All our lives hang by a thread. Now we've got a man waiting for sentence. But ain't it the truth? You take your chances with the law. Justice is only a roll of the dice, a flip of the coin, a turn of the wheel.
This is the Wheel of Death.
And here we go.
Yes, sir. On Sunday, at
Unbelievable.
McNally's is the Wheel of Death.
Oh.
But there's a twist this year, Fitz. Last year, you and I created the punishments. This year,
no.
this year,
no.
the listeners will create the punishments.
This guy is going to create the punishments. This guy.
The
You want
listeners.
this guy to create the punishments?
The
It took him 23 minutes to find the Unabomber photo to put on his moniker.
this guy's gonna do it. This lady's gonna do it. This guy's gonna do it. This lady's gonna do it. This lady's gonna do it. All of them. Anybody that is in the chat, we will pick one listener per week to come up with the punishment for the Wheel of Death. Now, here's the thing, listeners. The punishment for the Wheel of Death has to be doable. It can't do anything. It can't be a punishment that would send one of us to jail. It can't be a punishment that would cause great harm to our bodies or death or physical impairment.
Hey, during that ice bucket challenge last year, I could have gotten pneumonia.
But the listeners each week, one listener every week will get to choose the Wheel of Death punishment. And next week, it'll be chosen by a listener that is in attendance, by a very special listener that is in attendance. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Johnny Fitzgibbons.
Oh my God. How was this? Was this arranged behind my back?
John Fitzgibbons, you, sir, have been chosen to come up with the first punishment for week 1 of the Wheel of Death.
Do you know what lies in the crazy disease mind of that man?
Oh, I do.
He was my older brother.
I know.
Do you
And
know
a
what he
lot of
did?
I'm just gonna go out on a
Jules
limb here.
says yes. Yes. Does it have to be in all caps, Julianne?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here that, with the exception of Brandon Jr. and Shanna, a vast majority of these listeners are actually looking forward to punishing you, which is going to make this a lot more fun for me.
Why am I always the bad wrestler on this show?
As soon as I put this hot poker in my ass, I'm going to chop my dick off.
None of that. None of that could be on the challenge, John. And what is Isabel's going to turn Aiden into a Swiftie?
Oh, God. That's the worst punishment on the Wheel of Death.
Yeah, last year. We did the show around this time last year, and people were wearing diapers. And where was she at Soldier Field? So they
Yeah.
wouldn't miss any of her songs. Remember that story?
Yep.
That's something we should bring back. Strange stories, but I don't know if that'll work at McNally's Pub.
So that idea from the listeners actually came from the warped mind of Rob Brown, who I do a show with on Saturdays on the radio. I produce his show. Rob Brown and Cody Decker. They do Bet for the Cycle. They do a phenomenal job. Unfortunately, I will not be working that show anymore after this week. But
love Cody Decker.
Cody Decker's amazing.
Super smart.
Yeah, he does a show now with Michelle Beadle too.
It would be my dream to have him on the show. Like, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
All right.
So, but anyway, Rob Brown, I told him, I said, hey, we do punishments every week. Could you help me come up with some? He's like, why don't you just do this? Why don't you let your listeners decide?
Oh, God.
And I said, oh my God, that is freaking genius.
No, it's not. It's horrible. It's genius. Like Hitler taking meth is genius. That's how it's genius. See, you made me do it again.
I have a feeling that one of Isabel's punishments might be the fact that neither one of us can go to the bathroom for a day and have to wear a diaper.
No one is wearing diaper for the Bears. Let me tell you something, Isabel. Sports in America is the best reality TV show ever created. It's even
actually,
better than
Shanna.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you could make that a punishment if you wanted.
Yeah, you were supposed to do it last year and you never did it.
What?
Yeah, but I was supposed to give you my Facebook account, so it kind of you were supposed to do that, and then I was going to give you the Facebook account.
I told you I would do that I told you I would do that on the same day you gave me your Facebook account.
No.
You wussed out.
You got the punishment first, sir. You were supposed to get waxed, and then I was supposed to give you the Facebook account. Quit trying to turn things around. Stop looking up. You don't remember.
No, here's what happened on that. I do remember what happened on that.
What happened? Let me make something up.
No. It wasn't something up. Your dumbass gave me the out on that one.
Oh, yeah.
And the fans were mad at you.
Yeah, I did. Megan TV was really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I did too pay my debts. Minus the one that Fitz let me out of that everybody was mad about.
Yeah.
And calling Hallis Hall. But that's because we couldn't find the number for Hallis Hall.
Doubting Thomas is just naming sports at this time. Is he in Vegas too? Doubting Thomas, look me up.
Doubting Thomas, get in the damn fantasy league.
Yeah, Jesus
Christ.
Push buttons on your phone.
Yeah, here's an idea. Hard. Ask your wife because she's already signed up, so she knows how to do it. I know cucks like you don't do fantasy football, but maybe Megan could help you out.
They're teaming up. We're teaming up.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know. Where's Jeremiah?
That's such bullshit. That's a husband that just doesn't want to be in trouble on Sunday because he wins.
You know, we started the show an hour early, so I bet you Jeremiah's in the bathtub right now.
Probably.
Or the toilet.
He's both. He's doing both at the same time.
You're almost on camera.
At any rate.
Oh, the laptop?
Sorry. Somebody has to do some work around.
That's all right. We only see your nipples.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
And that's the camera to the show. And that's no, it's okay. It's live. We get it.
That isn't it. You've never looked better. Put the camera back down.
All right. This is how we're doing the show for the rest of the show.
All right. Finally. Oh, hey, there we go.
And we're back. And it's a close-up look at me.
Is that Megan TV behind you?
No, that's not Megan TV.
That's not Megan TV? Oh.
As I try to fix the camera while we talk.
But anyway, the Bears coming up. We are 11 days, 12 days from 13 days from week 1. Have you drafted a fantasy team yet?
I'm drafting a fantasy team right after this. Do you have any pointers? I haven't drafted a fantasy team in 6 years.
Would you like me to send you my spreadsheet?
Yes. I need any help I can get.
I have a spreadsheet. Because I'll do all the work for you, just like on the show, and I'll send you the spreadsheet for fantasy football.
Unbelievable. You do all the work? Jesus Christ. I will say this. The show open is pretty cool. You did a really good job. I will say that.
I mean, look, we had a friend of the school, and where I was at, he wanted to do something up, so we allowed him some creative, artistic, creative freedom, and he did a good job for us. So yeah, I'm sending it to you right now in your Facebook Messenger.
All right.
So make sure you use the key and everything, because you're not going to understand what the color coding is unless you use the key.
Okay, I'll take a look.
But yeah,
Bears football 13 days away. Dun, 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 dun.
We are 13 days away from that. We are 14 days. We are Jesus Christ. We are 10 days. We are 10 days away from the start of the season with the Chiefs and the Ravens. And then that team from the North plays on Friday. And then the real football starts that Sunday. What are your expectations, man? Has Hard Knocks done anything for you over the last couple of weeks?
A little bit. I mean, I think sometimes front office people, especially front office people, because coaches in football never say anything. But you could see just from how Pohl's mind has been working, especially during Hard Knocks. We talked about this before the show, like what he thinks his team is. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Oh, God. You say that to my divorce attorney. I had a small gathering for...
I've got my big money, one of my big money leagues next Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday, my other big money league.
And you never answered the question from Fitz Gibberish, by the way.
What?
You have Kenneth Walker the third. You have a player on the Seahawks.
Okay.
And a touchdown by him basically puts you into the championship game on the second last game of the season. But it might kick the Bears out of the playoffs. Who are you rooting for on that last drive?
I'm rooting for my money. I am always team money. There's a lot of money involved.
And always have been. Penis cancer in human form.
So if I told you you could win, let's say $4,000. Let's throw a random number out there. And that's your winning.
Almost what I lost when the double doink happened in the Bears.
So you could win $4,000, but the Bears don't make the playoffs this year. Which one are you choosing? Don't forget, Aiden wants a new bike for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't really think it's their year anyway. So, yeah. I mean, making it in the playoffs, I don't think changes a lot, and it's hard
for money.
But the question started because I was talking to my younger brother Joe, and he was like, he had somebody in a fantasy, and they were playing. I forgot who. Oh, yeah, Njoku, and the Browns were playing the Bears, and that was a big game. Maybe the Bears make the playoffs if they win that game. They'd have to win one other game, but still, maybe they make the playoffs some way. And he had Njoku, and he was rooting for Njoku. I was like, you son of a fucking bitch. What about the Bears? He ended up winning. His fantasy league, and he won.
Oh, wow.
Like $500 or $600.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I think that's changing sports in general. But moving on to my point and talking about the Bears and what we thought the season was going to be. You did not have him winning the division. I had them winning the division, which is kind of a flip. I had him at 10 wins. You had him at 12 a few months ago. You have him at 10 now. I have him at 11. But really, if you listen in between the lines, you don't even really have to listen in between the lines to this. But when Poles was on Hard Knocks this past week, he kind of talked about why they didn't go with Matthew Judon, why they didn't go heavier on him to get him. And this is what he had to say.
We try to do a really good job creating parameters that make sense for our club and that put our club in a position to be successful now, but also down the road. I'm tormenting myself, but if you have your own guardrails that we put up to help us stay in the lane, we surely pressed up against them to acquire the player. But when it comes to losing all flexibility, like, I don't think that would be smart, even if he has success. Now, if he has 20 sacks or something, yeah, it'll make me sick. I don't want to get the club stuck in a position where we have a player that's here, we've given up a draft pick, and we haven't had a resolution on a contract.
But, I mean, hey, look at this. It's Judon for a 3 and some significant financial needs. We traded a 4 for 4 years of Austin Booker.
Yeah, I think that last 20 seconds is probably the most important, just because, we didn't want to mortgage our future. He keeps saying future, future, future. That's a GM that does not think his team is good enough to maybe even compete for a NFC championship. I mean, maybe he thinks they'll make it to the playoffs, but I mean, what's your take on it? I actually told you my take before the show, but I didn't really hear your take on what he said there. But there's a lot going on in that 60-second clip.
So I like a lot of what I heard, and a lot of what I heard was, hey, look, I'm thinking about this, but at the same time, I don't know if we need to spend the money on this right now, and I don't know if we need to do this. And in order to do this, if I'm going to make this trade, he has to sign before we make this trade. And he has to agree to a deal before we make this trade. And the fact that maybe he didn't want to sign here, maybe he didn't want to play here, whatever the case is, to not get him. And then the last comment there that I thought was the most important was when they said, look, you give up a 3rd round for Matthew Judon. We gave up a 4th for 4 years of Austin Booker. And maybe if Austin Booker isn't performing so well in the preseason, they just go ahead and make this move anyway. Maybe if Austin Booker hasn't emerged as a stud that they can use, for maybe he's not a starter, but he's probably a 25 to 40, 30 to 50 snaps per game type guy. You know what I mean? So maybe you're not using him as a starter, but you can use him in an abundance of ways with an abundance of snaps. And you can do that. So for me, I liked what I heard there. I liked what Ryan Poles had to say, and I like the direction that this team is going. And it kind of reverberates to what we've been saying about this front office. The Bears finally have a front office that knows what they're doing. The Bears finally have a front office that you can trust is going to do the right thing. The Bears finally have a front office that is going to lead this team into the future. And I think that's exactly what Ryan Poles did there.
Yeah, I mean, and even he's talking to Ian Cunningham there, who will be a GM in this league. So there's a lot of good minds there. And there's nobody there making up for past mistakes or mistakes they might have. And they're not mortgaging the future too quickly. This isn't, it is the NFL. So yeah. I want them to be good right now, but I don't want them to mortgage the future just yet. I mean, in 1 or 2 years, I think that's where the team is going. But right now, I don't want them to have to mortgage the future. It's kind of like when I was in college, putting beer on a credit card. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have been looking to my future. But I wasn't doing that, Combs. And that's why I'm doing a podcast with you right now from a cabana at the Ario Casino. And I have management coming up to me asking what I'm doing while you're talking about the trade. But
anyway, I know you didn't hear a word I said. It's fine.
No, I did hear what you were saying.
I'm joking.
I was listening. That's why I wasn't listening to him. But anyway, I don't really like that guy anyway. So Fitz, you going to play poker later? I might. Here's the thing. I do like to play poker. But when I'm in Vegas, I like to play 3-card poker. And 3-card poker is like if blackjack was, pretty much is if blackjack was a person, and was in an orgy while taking steroids. Because 3-card poker, you bet 3 times all at once, and it's sort of like blackjack in a way. You have 3 cards, you make 3 bets every time. but it's so addictive. If I win money at the casino, I'm like, well, I could just go play 3-card poker with this now.
Jesus.
I was here 2 years ago and I was like, $700-800 up. And I, ended up losing like $600 and really, God, I hope Nicole's not listening. In like an hour and 10 minutes. But anyway, Junior has the Bears going 11-6.
Well, I mean, look, here's a bit of advice I could give you. Okay. Get a good lawyer. That's
because you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Both times, actually.
Hold'em. I do like.
I do too.
Hold'em, Shanna.
Yeah, I'm a Texas Hold'em guy myself. I don't look. I just think the Bears are headed in the right direction. I think that they are in good hands, and I'm excited for the future. So, I mean, that's what it is. But
what do you think of Hard Knocks? Because last week you had only saw the first episode. Now you're 3 episodes in. I mean,
yeah, I like it.
We'll get your take first, and then I'll say a little.
Yeah, I'm happy with it because what I've seen from the Bears this preseason, and I haven't been able to watch a ton of the preseason just because of my schedule right now, but what I have seen from the preseason, and I texted you this, if nothing else, the Bears have depth, and they've shown that they are deep at every position, offense and defense. I like the fact I love Tyson Bagent as a backup quarterback right now. I think he fits this scheme really well. If for whatever reason, Caleb Williams were to go down for a game or two, I think Tyson Bagent could hold down the fort. And I like seeing that. I like seeing the fact that Austin Booker is going to be a stud. I like seeing the depth. I like seeing these pieces come together. And so I like that part of it, but I also like the way that Hard Knocks is showing how loose this team is and how well gelled this team is already. And they do seem like they are really well gelled and well connected. It doesn't seem like they're all rooting for one another. They're all talking to one another. They're all doing like it's a team. And I don't know if this was the case a year or two ago. I don't, because we didn't have Hard Knocks here. So I don't know if this is a difference, but I do like what I'm seeing behind the scenes right now. And it's actually painting Matt Eberflus in a good light as well.
They had the Jets, and it was not like this. It wasn't. They also had the Miami Dolphins because they do during the season, not right now. Yeah, the punter is pretty good, but I would have taken any other player. But okay, punter's fine. I'll get past it. But,
did you like when he talked shit to Caleb on the sidelines during that preseason game?
Yeah,
where he said,
"Whoa,
you told me I was going to punt, but the first 3 possessions here, I've punted 3 times."
And Caleb didn't know what to say. He's like, I don't know.
He's like, we're letting you do it in the preseason so you can actually see the field.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
And if you are not impressed with Caleb Williams, you don't watch enough Hard Knocks 1, and you don't watch enough football 2.
Yeah.
He's just really impressive. I don't think I still think he was sort of lying about never being nervous, because I don't think that's true. I think the nervous part is what makes you better. I think he's learned how to challenge those nerves really, really young in his life, which is very rare for people. Took me forever to do it. I could not 20 years ago. There's no way I could have done even a podcast. Well, maybe I could have, but at REO Casino during my job, I don't think I could have done all those things at once. But I mean, he's able to do that. He's able to do a lot of things and juggle all these balls, and he seems like he's not overwhelmed. Now, it could all be a lie, and it could blow up in his face, but he seems really impressive. He seems to know the offense really well already. I mean, he knocked out the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, we haven't even talked about that. Even before the preseason game, for those who don't know, on that Thursday before the game, they really had the real game. Which they do every year with a certain team. And I thought it was great that they had the Cincinnati Bengals, because they're a really good team. I think they had the Colts last year or something like that, but they're a really good team. and all the reporters were just knocked out at how good Caleb Williams did. And kind of they weren't too happy. I'm talking the Cincinnati Bengals reporters. They weren't too happy about how good their offense did against our defense either. But we could talk about the defense in a minute because there were a couple trades that I want to talk about. But just how good Caleb Williams was in this offense. And when this training camp started, what were the first reports in those first 2, 3, 4 practices? That they were terrible. And it seems like that script's been flipped. I mean, we'll see how that translates, but you know.
No, I mean, I agree. I like what I'm seeing. I like I like everything about Hard Knocks. I think that they've done a great job with it. This is something that I might even watch on other teams moving forward, because it really does give you an insight as to what's going on. Like when I started watching a little bit of the Giants one too, and the Giants, I mean, half of their show, which I'm surprised they let it go to air, was them talking about needing to replace Daniel Jones. Yeah. And like what does that do for the psyche of Daniel Jones? You know what I mean?
Well, at this point, it shouldn't matter. It's either put up or shut up.
Right? Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you 100%. But that's one of those things when it comes to Daniel Jones and the Giants. Like if that was the Bears, like I'd be like, oh crap, what is going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if I was a Giants fan, I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and how much would you trust this front office who just gave this guy a bunch of money and now they're calling him a sack of shit, which he was. I mean, look at his numbers.
He was terrible.
His numbers are half of what Justin Fields' numbers was, and everybody, you know, at least 50% of Bears fans and people wanted to run him out of town, and he wasn't as bad. And Daniel Jones was way worse. I think in one season, Daniel Jones had 9 touchdown passes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those where, you know, you're like, you look at it and, you know, I mean, look, I mean, Daniel Jones has to look at it too, realistically, and be like, you know, yeah, maybe I'm not as good as I could be, but if this was the Bears, like you could actually use this almost as a scouting tool, even if it's just for fantasy, by watching Hard Knocks and watching the way that these guys are behind the scenes and off the field. You can sort of get a feel for what's going on and what you might run into.
Well, even in the Giants one, they were like talking like, oh yeah, I looked on this website and saw this about a player, and this scouting report was saying, and it's like, did you even look how the guy played? Like, what do you, like, is this how you guys do it? You do it just like I do it? What the hell?
Yes.
And maybe they're just incompetent, because it looks like Poles and Ian Cunningham and his team really had it together. Even when they showed how they got Austin Booker, it was great how Hard Knocks showed that trade not happening and then showed how they got Austin Booker. They like weaved it together. It's great how they edit that show. I mean, it's such a great show. The editing was brilliant there. The way they edited in how they got Austin Booker, how happy they were, how they had a call to get the pick to get him. And how all that happens in real time. They seem to have it a lot together. Doubting Thomas says, I love it when Fitz goes to Vegas, and I love the great state of Indiana. Now, when you're texting something, which Doubting Thomas doesn't get, your sarcasm doesn't really come through unless people know you. Jerk off.
What did I miss?
He said, I love it when Fitz goes to Vegas, and I love the great state of
but I'm
Indiana.
saying,
he's lying.
What's lying.
He's lying. He's being sarcastic. He's lying. He's lying. Okay. He doesn't like when I go to Vegas, and he doesn't like when anything good happens in both of our lives.
If you want to go to Vegas without me, that is totally cool. What are you talking about? Well,
unbelievable. So who are you in this? Are you Zach Galifianakis in this whole thing?
If you want to go to Vegas without me, that's fine. I get it.
Do you wear a man bag? Do you wear?
If you want to go to Vegas without me, that is totally cool. What are you talking about? Well,
meanwhile, I'm over here working like a dog. I'm working 40 hours
in front of my friends.
Trying to do all this, and meanwhile, this is Fitz. Right there, baby. Right there.
Oh, you can't even see out there.
No, it's
See,
too sunny.
It's too sunny here.
It's too sunny in Vegas. Yeah, it's too.
sunny in
Yeah,
Vegas.
you look like you're having a real terrible
Too
time. You
sunny. Yeah, it
jerk
sucks.
off.
I hate coming out here. I really do.
I bet you do.
Wow. Isabel Zabio going all freaking
Will Smith
on us. Keep my family's name out of your fucking mouth. Wow.
I think she's talking to
That's
you.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I think she's talking to you.
Well,
I mean, you
deserve
did kind of go hard in on Doubting Thomas.
moving on. What did you think of the Daryl Taylor trade and the Chris Williams trade?
The Bears are clearly worried about depth at the defensive tackle position, and they did what they needed to do to add depth there. So I like the moves. Maybe next time they'll get a left tackle.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you?
So many things.
We're only 55 minutes in. It's usually hour 10, hour 15 minutes when I want to stab you to the throat and burn your house to the ground.
If you want to go to Vegas without me, that is totally cool. What are you talking about? Well,
again, are you Zach Galifianakis in this analogy?
Who's the one that's not going to Vegas? It's Zach Galifianakis.
Yes. Next time we have a show party, a show wrap up party, and we bring all the production staff in, and we go out for drinks. Are you gonna wear a man bag, a man purse?
It's a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one.
Unbelievable. Is that the only movie you've ever seen?
Go do your fantasy draft and have fun in Vegas, and I'll see you on Thursday, you son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. How are you going to see me on Thursday?
I actually won't see you on Thursday. I probably won't see you.
Are you going to be waiting off the flight? When I get off the flight, are you going to be crying?
I probably will. Don't worry.
I thought it was a good trade for Daryl Taylor. By the way,
while you're out in Vegas, I'll go check and make sure Nicole's okay.
You stay away from my wife. Isabel said, "You get my family's name out of your goddamn fucking mouth."
All right, guys. We will check you guys on next time on Combs and Fitz. We'll figure it out. We will make a post on the Facebook page, whether it'll be this Sunday, Saturday, whether we take a week off and we just go with it from week one. We'll figure things out as we go. We'll make a post on the Facebook page. Till then, everybody, enjoy. And, fuck Fitz, we're going to Vegas.